It's May 1990 and in an Atlantic City casino, a Japanese billionaire is on the run of his life. It hasn't happened by accident because, in gambling circles, he's known as the Warrior and is a seriously high roller. Really serious. In fact, he's one of the top 5 gamblers in the world. He's met casino owners before, plenty, but this one wants war. And battle after battle, the Japanese man has been winning big. But this casino owner doesn't like to lose. In fact, he's obsessed with winning.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
And if he needs to take a gamble to do so, that's just fine. His name? Donald Trump. And unknown to the Warrior, he's just rolled the dice because Trump has a secret weapon. He believes he can predict the future. And when the dust settles, only one man will be left standing. The only question is, who will it be? And who will dodge a bullet? Money, gambling, greed, even murder. This story has it all. But to understand how and why this happened, we need to go back to the start of the year on the other side of the world. Now, our videos take countless hours of research, scripting and editing to bring you engaging stories like this one. For transparency, we've included all of the references and sources in the description below so you can explore the full details yourself. Tokyo, February 10th, 1990. The Japanese man, Akio Kashiwagi, is a respected and successful real estate tycoon. For decades, he's been building a self-made fortune. As the son of a humble carpenter, he started his business with a modest $600 deal, which then turned into an income of $100 million and assets totaling $1 billion. He owns a Rolls Royce, a BMW, antiques and diamonds worth $385,000 per stone, and a $47 million palace named Kashiwagi Castle, where his personal chef prepares his favourite delicacy, marinated monkey meat. It's where he likes to be. He's a private man, mysterious even. Some say his vast fortune is intertwined with the Yakuza, Japan's criminal elite. The Yakuza's strict code of trust, honour and loyalty demands silence, so his refusal to address the rumours only fuels speculation. Tonight though, he's out in the city. He's been invited to an event, a party to promote the world heavyweight bout between Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. The fight will take place the next day, but Kashiwagi isn't there for the boxing. He has a different interest: gambling. Sometimes for 80 hours at a time, carrying as much as $1.5 million in cash. It's fair to say that he loves casinos, and the casinos love him. And in the Tyson camp, fresh from promoting some of his earlier fights alongside the infamous Don King, is the newest casino owner on the block, a hotshot, big-mouth deal maker by the name of Donald J. Trump.
If you think what I've done in New York is spectacular, then come to Atlantic City. You'll really see something.
Now, the Warriors' legendary winning streaks attract plenty of attention, but in Trump's world, each narrative has to fit his version of events. Anything else is dismissed as fake news. So while the champagne flows and Trump works the room, Kashiwagi waits quietly in the corner until Trump offers him a photo with the greatest fighter ever. No picture, he shouts, covering his face. But now they've met, and that was all he was here for.
Atlantic City is right now at a really great turning point, and it's going to go one way or the other, and I'm going to damn well make sure it goes the other. We want to make it a fabulous place.
Trump has 3 casinos in Atlantic City. The Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino opened in 1984, the Trump Castle opened in 1985, and the Trump Taj Mahal opened in 1990, modestly dubbed the 8th wonder of the world.
Open Sesame!
Right now though, his empire is in trouble. The Taj Mahal cost over $1 billion to build, far more than anticipated.
We'll never have seen anything like this. I mean, who's ever heard of a building that cost $1 billion?
And his Atlantic City casinos are bleeding cash with interest payments of nearly $3 million per day. With the gambling industry slowing down, missed opportunities will lead to financial ruin, not just for the Taj Mahal, but for his entire brand.
What really hurts the business is the fact that the Northeast is in a tremendous recession, and people aren't able to go down to Atlantic City to go and have fun.
Kashiwagi needs casinos to play in, and Trump needs his money, so he invites him over to a penthouse with his name on it at the Trump Plaza. But this is no ordinary game. It will cost one of them far more than just their fortune. You see, in the mega-rich casino circles Trump wants to move in, Khashoggi comes with a reputation. He'd just banked nearly $20 million at James Goldsmith's Diamond Beach Casino in Australia, almost bankrupting it. But another time, he'd blown $6 million on Baccarat in Steve Wynn's Mirage Casino in Las Vegas. In the end, one casino will always win, and it's Trump's job to make sure that it's his. So a few days later, the Warrior arrives in Atlantic City on Trump's private jet. At first though, it looks like he's having second thoughts. The red carpets are rolled out at the Plaza, and Trump treats him to a signed copy of his book, The Art of the Deal. It's a playful warning. You are about to lose. And maybe it's a warning that he takes note of, because for the next 2 days, Khashoggi doesn't leave his free penthouse. Split level, ocean views, butler service, a grand piano, and an $800,000 jade Buddha. The jade Buddha is handpicked to reinforce Khashoggi's beliefs. Sourced from an ancient Chinese dynasty, it symbolises luck and prosperity. But in reality, it's one more way for Trump to make him feel at home, and of course to keep him playing. You see, Trump has set him a trap. Khashoggi plots and plans, and then finally, on Friday night, he commits. He steps out of his suite and heads down to the casino. There, piles of $5,000 chips await him at a special table. One $250,000 stack stands over a foot high, and it's armed with Trump's final sweetener, a $6 million line of credit. He's finally ready to fight. The Warrior's battleground of choice is Baccarat. Baccarat is the ultimate high-stakes casino game, famous for attracting big money players. He knows it well, a game of precision, reading patterns and exploiting small margins. The gameplay itself is simple. Players bet on whether the player or banker will get closer to 9. Its prestige comes from its quick turnaround. Hands are often over in a couple of minutes and at a low house edge. This means that the best players can make big money fast. Now, with the VIP trimmings that are laid on as a result, it's not just a game, it's a status symbol. From Frank Sinatra to Jackie Chan, it's always been played by the wealthy and sophisticated. Khashoggi is both, and within half an hour, surrounded by up to 10 hotel bodyguards, his private table roped off in red velvet, he's $1 million up. And for Trump, that's a huge problem. The casino can't afford this kind of loss, not with creditors breathing down their neck and with the Taj Mahal already running on borrowed time. Worse still, the media are watching closely. It's bad news for Trump's reputation.
Here we are.
Well, we've got to talk
back to the negative.
Back to the negative.
Back to the. You know what? Do this interview with somebody else.
Well, we talked about this yesterday on the phone. This is exactly what we talked about.
Do the interview with somebody else.
There's nothing that we didn't discuss on the phone, Donald.
You see, in Baccarat, players take money off the house, not each other, and it's starting to look like a major flaw in his plan. His dream is to make casinos great again, mainly his casinos. And you can't just do that by milking pensioners and part-timers who are playing for a few dollars. You need to land a whale. And Khashoggi is not just any whale. He's a blue whale, the rarest and most lucrative of them all. So the Wall Street Journal and National Enquirer are both in attendance, invited by Trump of course, to witness this PR triumph. Now at the end of the day though, PR is great, but what Trump needs is money. If he doesn't land this whale and empty his pockets, he's game over. Every casino relies on its cash flow to survive, and the Trump cash flow is at breaking point. If one of the most formidable gamblers the world has ever seen, now playing for $250,000 per hand, 70 times an hour, keeps on winning, it's a PR triumph that could put the Trump Plaza out of business within days.
Debt of about $3.2 billion, and that you're losing money at the rate of $40 million a year, true?
It's a total hatchet job.
But it's all borrowed money. You have to service the debt.
Why do you say? Do you know my books? Why do you say it's borrowed money?
What happens next though is totally unexpected. As the Warriors streak continues, the heat around the game intensifies. He's millions of dollars up. He should be happy, but something is wrong. Khashoggi is a quiet man, and what he'd hoped would be a quiet game is turning into a circus. Just like he showed in Tokyo, he doesn't want this. People staring, cameras flashing, Trump on the news, calling out his bluff and naming him the greatest. It's all noise, and he's getting spooked. And then suddenly, with $6 million of Donald Trump's chips swiftly cashed in, he quits, heading straight back home to Japan. Trump's response is explosive. What the f***?
Do you wish we'd all go away?
Absolutely.
This isn't just a loss, it's humiliation. Left holding Khashoggi's unpaid credit line, the media are now focused on his failure. He desperately needs to get even, and if he needs to play dirty to do it, so be it. Back in Japan, meanwhile, Kashiwagi tries to enjoy the calm. He retires to his castle, drinks green tea, watches samurai movies, eats his marinated monkey. But the trouble is, he's now front page news because Trump has not stopped talking and he's publicly invited Kashiwagi back over round 2. His team even proposed a date for the rematch, December 7th, the anniversary of Japan's 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor. It's not too subtle. And when dealing with a man for whom dignity, honour and respect are everything, it doesn't seem too clever either. But behind the bluster, Trump has a plan. Casinos are all about the edge, and their edge on Baccarat, designed to encourage the big hitters like Kashiwagi to keep on playing, is unusually small. What he needs is a smart way to exploit it, and he knows just the guy who can find it for him. Enter maths genius Jess Macrum. As a young graduate, Macrum had worked for the RAND Corporation, a leading government think tank known for modelling complex events, like nuclear war. But a chance trip to Vegas in his 20s had turned Macrum onto gambling. He'd become one of the first people to use maths to beat the casino, and some credit him as being the original inventor of card counting. Now Trump sets him a new challenge, rigging Baccarat to help him get revenge. Because Trump believes predicting the future is possible. And Macrum takes the problem away. Days go by, weeks, and then he's cracked it. It's genius, but ridiculously simple, and when it all comes out in the wash, no one will believe it. The plan is concealed in an agreement, devised by Macrum and another casino vet called Al Glasgow, which Kashiwagi signs in order to return and play on. Naturally, there are nice incentives for him, but he doesn't read the small print or bother with all the detail. It's a mistake which could prove crucial. The agreement isn't legally binding, not without a fierce battle in court anyway, but Donald sees a deal as a deal and believes that the warrior will honour it. Gamblers are honourable in their own way, at least about gambling. What though will that mean in practice? Come May 1990, Kashiwagi flies back to Atlantic City and checks in back into his suite at the Trump Plaza. This time though, there are no delays. From the moment he sets foot inside the resort, he's ready to play, and in Trump's eyes, the tide is now supposed to turn. But at first, it doesn't. In fact, the warrior simply picks up where he left off. Soon, he's up another $9 million. That's $15 million of Trump's money he's now holding. The big man is ready to pull the plug, but Macrum tells him to wait, to sit it out. So the losses continue. Now Trump is getting desperate. Another dealer's shift comes and goes, and then something strange happens. All the way through, the dealers have been male, and the moment a female dealer takes over, Kashiwagi starts to lose, immediately. What the hell is going on? Was this the plan all along? Trump doesn't care. What matters is that Kashiwagi keeps on playing and losing, and playing and then losing some more. He should get out, but he doesn't. His wins start to disappear, and then become losses. $1 million. He carries on playing. $2 million. He keeps playing. $5 million. He keeps playing until he's $10 million down. It's crazy, but there's a very good reason. And the reason is what Macrum had pinned everything on. This is how it worked. Macrum and Glasgow know probability. They looked at every way that could boost the casino's edge and turn this war around. And in the end, they remembered that at the casino, there's one thing that's freely available that always ends with the house on top. And that magic ingredient? Not women. Not tiredness, not greed, but time. They knew that if they could just keep Kashiwagi playing for as long as possible, the house's edge would eventually win out. And then they can pull the plug. And until then, they just had to stop Kashiwagi from doing so. The contract that he signed had laid it all out. The deal contained a freeze-out clause. Kashiwagi would bring $12 million to the table and play until he had either doubled it or lost everything. Kashiwagi's very own grind it out strategy counts on keeping going until the statistical variance falls in his favour, but the longer things go on, the more likely that the tables will turn, and after 75 hours, far longer than he'd stayed the first time, his chances of winning would fall to 15%. Eventually, Trump calls the game early at $10 million. Having successfully dodged a bullet, he claims to be saving Kashiwagi from further humiliation. In the end though, it doesn't matter, because still, this story has a sting in its tail. Believing he's been conned, Kashiwagi leaves in a rage, with his assistant announcing plans for that signed book. We're gonna burn it. faced with mounting criticism, Trump deflects attention from this debacle, almost as if it's an attempt to pardon himself from responsibility for the fallout. Khashoggi owes Trump $4 million. Rumours circulate that he cashed out $500,000 of chips on the way out too. Either way, he's been playing on credit, and no payment is ever received. This time, Donald Trump's casino survives, but in 1992, all three filed for bankruptcy, and again in 2004 and 2009. At least though, he lives to tell the tale, and later hit new PR heights in his turn as a reality star and then leader of the free world. The same could not be said for Khashoggi. First, he flies to Europe in an attempt to recoup his losses, but fails. Then, the Japanese real estate bubble bursts and his debts mount further. By the start of 1992, he's in hiding, owing a staggering $131 million. And on January 3rd, the white paper screens of his sumptuous home are splattered with a shower of blood. He's brutally murdered, or as Trump puts it in his book, The Art of the Comeback, hacked to pieces by a samurai sword. News reports say that he has as many as 150 stab wounds. A Yakuza foot soldier named Kodio Saki is linked with the murder. This is a story which proves once again the close links between gambling and the mob. And later, the character KK Achawa in the film Casino was based on Khashoggi. You can hear more about that true story in the video linked in the description.